Hello, ladies and gents, and everyone in between, and welcome to a short review of week 5 of 2018. I mean, let's start with the obvious, Black Lightning, right? Like, first we see that Anissa, listen, if you didn't see sparks flying between Anissa and Grace, then I don't know how to help you, because they were there, and I'm excited to see this. It was so exciting. Shameless plug, my reaction video is linked below. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Anissa balances this new, maybe, romance with the fact that she's a superhero. Or the fact that she, wants to become a superhero now, right? So, we'll see how that, pans out. That's really exciting. I'm really excited to see where that goes. Whew. Okay. Also, Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, which is a show you should watch if you are not, added another queer character. Valencia apparently is also bisexual. It was a very quick, quick moment between her and her girlfriend. Girlfriend doesn't even have a name yet, I don't think. But, that's, I think, 3 bisexual characters so far. We have a gay man. It's just a great show. It deals with mental health and all kinds of relationships. Yeah, if you aren't watching it, you should be watching it. Valencia was probably one of the last people that I would have picked to be bisexual. I would have thought that Heather would have been bisexual before Valencia, but it is so sweet. Also, Grey's Anatomy continues to push the envelope towards trans representation. A few weeks ago I talked about them having a trans male character as a doctor, and now they are having a trans female character as a patient, played by Candace Kane, they kind of took this story from the headlines, and it's dealing with a groundbreaking surgery in vaginoplasty and her journey through that. It's really awesome for that they have a trans actor playing a trans character. So I think here's to hoping that Grey's Anatomy, keeps doing it right and collaborating with members of the community that they wish to be representing, which it sounds like they are, so that's really awesome. As we know, the Olympics are coming up in the next week, I think. So I was like, hey, I wonder how many queer athletes there are. And so I took to the web and found a few. I don't know if it's all of them. Well, obviously it isn't all of them. But here are some openly queer athletes competing in Korea. So a lot of these athletes talk about, their how unhappy or uncomfortable they were, or how they came out just before the Sochi Olympics in spite of the harsh anti-LGBTQ laws and attitude there. So I think that, the Sochi Olympics really sounds like the Sochi Olympics really changed a lot of people, whether or not they came out before the Olympics in spite of it, or they came out after realizing, they wanted to be their truest selves. It sounds like maybe, some good came of that. I don't know. So Gus Kenworthy is one of those that came out after the Sochi Olympics. He is a U.S. Olympic ski slope style skier. Adam Rapone is a U.S. male figure skater. He came out in 2015 as well. He is the first U.S. male figure skater to be openly out while still competing. Meaning, Johnny Weir and Brian Boitano came out after they were done with their Olympic careers. Another openly gay male figure skater is Eric Radford. He is from Canada. He came out in late 2014, and he is the first openly gay male figure skater at international level. He has a fiance named Luis Finero. who is also a competitive ice dancer. And then there's Daniela Iraschko-Stolz, who is a Austrian ski jumper. Daniela came out in 2013, just before the 2014 Sochi Olympics, because she didn't want to hide who she was, which I think is really admirable. And then there's Cheryl Maas, who is a half-pipe snowboarder from the Netherlands. She is married to her wife, Steinbrunn. I can't say her wife's name, but they have 2 children. And also from the Netherlands is Irene Wust, who, I don't know if I said that right, who is a speed skater, and she's been openly bisexual for quite a few years, and she medaled in Turin, Vancouver, and Sochi, and her partner Letitia De Jong is also a competitive skier, competitive speed skater. And so finally on the Australian team are Barbara Zajursek and Belle Brockhoff. Barbara is a cross-country skier and Belle is a snowboarder. Both of them actually were in the Sochi Olympics and were very outspoken and, you know, protested a lot about the anti-LGBT laws in Russia. So that's all the athletes I could find. If you know of any openly queer athletes that are competing in Korea this year, let me know in the comments below. Next, we have a little bit about inclusion in education. The Stonewall charity published a pamphlet called Creating an LGBT Inclusive Curriculum. And there's a UK textbook company that has embraced this and is looking into including other sexualities and sexual identities into their curriculum. So that can include anything from talking about reproduction, talking about a lesbian couple that is looking into IVF, or, you know, maybe a gay couple that's looking into surrogacy, or just like books that feature trans parents or trans children, you know. And it sounds like their hope is to give visibility to these demographics and open conversation with kids at a young age, to nurture inclusiveness in the UK. So I think that's dope. I hope that initiative makes its way over to the US, because goodness knows we could use good sex ed at all over here, let alone sex ed that is inclusive. Yeah. And finally, something bittersweet for me is Autostraddle, who many of you know is one of my favorite websites. It's like a lifestyle website for queer women. Every year they have something called A Camp, which is basically like summer camp for queer women. And it sounds really awesome. It's like a week long, and I wanted to go for the past like 3 years, but I couldn't. And again, I can't go this year. And someday I will go. Please don't stop having A Camp until I'm able to go, please. It's in May this year in California. They have amazing guests. They're gonna have Mary Lambert. They're gonna have Mara Wilson from Matilda and Mrs. Doubtfire. She's bisexual, didn't know if you know that. They're gonna have Jen Richards and Gabby Dunn. An amazing lineup of celebrities, as well as just awesome bonding times and panels and activities, and I wish I could go. But that's the story of my life, so bummer. Now, and finally, in Adrian's super gay news, I have finally, yet unfortunately, finished the Flozmin story. It was epic and heart-wrenching and happy, and I cried many tears, some of which you can see because I recorded myself crying, obviously. And, you know, yes, you have to read subtitles because it's in Spanish, but guess what? It's worth it. And this ship has been, like, really inspirational for me. It has inspired me to, like, really buckle down and learn Spanish. And also, my other New Year's resolution is to choose a healthier lifestyle and, you know, be more active and just, like, become a happier me physically, which hopefully will transfer into my mental happiness, because currently not the happiest person in the world. Anyway, and a big inspiration in that, as, I don't know, some people might think it's weird, some people might be like, oh my god, me too, but a big inspiration in that has been the Jasmine half of Flozmin, and that is the actress Julieta Nair Calvo, who is I just love her so much. She's beautiful, she's so funny, she's perfect, and I can't say enough about her. You need to watch Flozmin, link to their story below, and you need to follow her on Instagram, because it's just so enjoyable. I don't know, you guys, it's just, listen, being a fangirl can be exhausting, because, you know, you put yourself into this black hole of YouTube videos, fan vids, crack vids, you know, 500 years of their Instagram, and then you go online and you scream about it, either tweeting about it or like in your friends' DMs, which is mostly what I do, and instead of them being like, dude, calm down, whatever, it's just a person, like my friends in real life do, which is why I don't really talk to my friends in real life about this, they just add on to your obsession, and you just obsess together, and it's just this big screaming, flailing explosion. But it's so great, and I wouldn't have it any other way. And so Julieta, if you're watching this, I love you, and I'm sorry if you think I'm weird. Yeah, so that's all I have this week. Let me know if there's anything that happened in the past week that you think people should know about, if anything happens in the coming week that you think people should know about. So DM me, tweet it at me, send it to me at queeryouryear@gmail.com, and go out, make this year queer, live your best life, and spread the love.